Welcome to Vertex Talks, a podcast where we take a deep dive into people's backstories and their future plans and also talk about whatever I feel like. Today we have a solo episode. I know it might be a surprise to many people that I'm posting a new episode literally a couple of weeks after an old one. But yeah, as always, we're going to start off with viewer questions which are from the Instagram, and then we're going to get into a couple of topics that I want to talk about. The first viewer question we have is, if there was 25 hours in a day, how would you spend it? So I'm gonna assume you're saying, how would I spend the extra hour in my day? I would say I would spend the extra hour either sleeping or working. Chances are probably sleeping, so I can get an extra hour of sleep. And yeah. The second question we have is, what's your favorite childhood memory? I would say my favorite childhood memory is back, I think, in like 2016 or 2015. I went to America. And I stayed there for the New Year's, and I went to one of my cousin's house. So basically, one of my cousins, and we had like so much fun for New Year's, because normally if I'm in my country, we don't really do much for New Year's. We're like, oh, cool, it's a new year, back to our normal lives. But in America, a bunch of things happened. It was really fun. Yeah, we had watched movies. I think cut a cake as well, maybe. I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was really fun. Fireworks and shit. It's probably like how everyone's New Year's would look like who lives in America, most people's, but I don't get that every year, so it's kind of cool, I guess. And I would say that would be my favorite childhood memory till now. I mean, I could say one from last year, but I guess I was a teenager when that happened. You know what? I'll say it. Why not? So basically, this might not consider as a childhood memory as it was literally last year. But basically, last year, I think I've said this story so many times. It's nothing too special, but oh well. It's basically I had I had finals in about May, and I wasn't really studying much in like April or even March for the finals. But then I promised myself in the beginning of March, where I had 15 days to study for it, I was gonna go hard. And throughout that 15 days, I learned so much about self-development and whatnot. And I realized that study with me streams are a thing. Which firstly, I once saw like a 12-hour stream, and I was like, okay, nah, that's fucking bullshit. Because there's no way someone would do it. It's probably like a looped clip or something. But I watched it. It's actually people studying. I don't know, I learned a bunch of things from that period because I just wanted to study. But then I was watching these videos basically when I did like a decent amount of studying and I wanted a little bit of a break. I don't know, that period was pretty nice. And even during exams and stuff, it was kind of stressful, definitely, for studying for an exam. Like, studying for not one exam, for around, I think 9 exams. Is it 9? I think it's 7 exams in about 15 days. But I had a lot of fun doing that. I don't know, I learned so much from that period. It's just great, I'd say that those two are probably one of my favorite childhood memories. The next question we have is, what's the most important lesson you hope to pass on to your kids? I don't have kids, but if I would have kids, I would say the lesson of failing is fine. Because you just have to learn to pick yourself back again. I know it sounds really cliche, but it's just true. You're not always gonna get it in your first try. You're not always gonna pass. You don't always have to pass. You can learn from your mistakes, learn from your failures. Yes, it sounds super cliche, and I probably sound like a fucking self-help guru right now, but trust me, it's probably one of the best advice you can possibly give to anyone, even though they probably just heard it so many times, they just take it lightly. But if you really think about it, I think it is, one of the biggest lessons or the most important lessons that you can learn. For example, I've seen Marvel do this. They had shit movies, they got better. A lot of people hated Age of Ultron, but they smashed it with the Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, I don't like Endgame fully that much, but besides the point, I fucking sucked at studies at grade 5. And then now I'm actually pretty decent, I would say so, because I've found the way that works for me, My way might not work for everybody, but it works for me. You just gotta find out what's better. You shouldn't just fucking dwell on your mistakes or your failures, That's just an important lesson, I would say. But also, don't make failures like, oh well, I fucked it up and I'm not gonna do anything about it. That's obviously another thing that you should not do. I've done this, I think, a bit back, I think, like, last year. Because, like, if I failed, like, a marking or something, I'll be like, oh, okay, I fucked it up. I didn't try to go through, go through and see why I fucked it up, or why I got such a low mark, and why, and how I could change it. I would just be like, oh, I screwed it up, what else, This next marking, That's all, yes. That still works. It's better than you dwelling on that one marking you failed. But being like, I fucked it up and I'm not going to do anything about it is probably a really bad attitude to have. So, yeah. The next question we have is, what are your 3 favorite movies and why? So I'm guessing you're asking for a top 3. I would say my top 3 best movies that I've watched. Number 1 is probably Joker. I don't know. It's so good. It's truly, I think, one of my favorite movies. Because how it tackles stuff, yes, it's not a perfect movie. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. But, I just think, I don't know, movies that can make me, like, feel so much is, like, the movies that I truly like. Like, how Joker made me feel is just insane. Like, even how I like Cherry as well. I think I would give Cherry, I think I reviewed it a couple months ago. I think I gave it like an A or something. I think it deserves like an 8.5. I'm deciding to rewatch it. I think I might rewatch it soon. But I don't know. Movies that have, who can like really make me sad or even come close to making me cry are like the movies that I'd be like, yes. But I would say Joker and then maybe Cherry in second place. I'm not sure. It's either is it? Fuck, I don't know. It's Joker, Cherry / Infinity War, and then in third place is not Far From Home, No Way Home. Far From Home is garbage. Okay, while we're on the topic of movies, how about let me tell you guys the top worst movies I have watched, because I know that's gonna be an interesting topic and I can probably get a lot of hate on it, but who the fuck cares? I would say my top 3 worst movies. I'll go from first to last. I think the worst movie I've watched is The Dark Knight Rises. Actually, no, it's not The Dark Knight Rises. I would say it's The Incredible Hulk. It's so bad. I couldn't finish it. I watched like an hour of it, and then I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, I can't watch it. It's so boring. And in second place is Dark Knight Rises. It took me, I think, like 2 sittings to watch it, because I was so bored throughout it. And it's just, the story is so bad. And I don't know, what's the third place? What's a bad movie that I didn't like? Okay, I can't think of a third movie, but I can think of a series which is pretty bad, which is My Name. I think it's a K-drama. It was short. Like, I was meant to watch, like, something called, like, Devil's Judge or something, which is another K-drama. I don't know. My friends, like, forced me to watch it. I watched, what do you call it? Yeah, so I think the third worst would be My Name. It's a series. I watched it. It was super bland. I could predict what was gonna happen. I mean, yeah, I could fully predict what's gonna happen from the first. Let me explain the plot real quick. So this is spoilers for My Name. So I'm gonna skip like 2 or 3 minutes ahead if you don't want the spoilers. Even though if you haven't watched it by now, your chances are you probably don't give a fuck. So My Name is basically like a K-drama where this girl's father gets killed because she was like part of a mafia and stuff. And the twist is that in the funeral, the guy who was part of the mafia came, and the girl like straight up knew, like just blamed it on the mafia. And then later on, the mafia guy just like takes the girl into like training and stuff. And I was so certain that this guy is the person who killed her, but at the end they reveal he did actually kill her, or kill his father, and his father was a cop. The father was a cop that wasn't very predictable, but him killing off his partner was like very predictable in my opinion. Yeah, that's like most of the series. At the end, I think she killed off the mafia guy. I mean, it was a meh series. It was, I think, like 6 hours long, 6 episodes, one season. Yeah. It was dreadful to watch it, man. It was so boring. I knew what was gonna happen. It wasn't boring, okay? I won't say it was boring. I would say it's really predict. While we're on the topic of series, let me say what's the best series I've watched. Okay, first best series would be, this is tied. It's either Money Heist or Vincenzo. One's a K-drama, one's a Spanish TV show or a heist show. And then I think on third place would be Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Is it even considered like a series? Yeah, it is a series. It's a sitcom, and I fucking love it. It's so good. Also, talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'm about to finish it. I have like 3 more episodes of it left. I'm probably gonna cry afterwards I finish it, because I don't know, it's so enjoyable to watch. I could rewatch it, but I do have other series that I need to watch. I think after Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'm gonna watch Batman the Animated Series, and then after that, we'll continue and stuff with whatnot. Vincenzo and Money Heist are tied for first place, which is no question about it. Second place is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And third place is, I guess, No Good Nick. I don't know, it's a show about this this girl who steals from these rich people, because these rich people fucked over her dad, and his dad is in prison, but at last she learns like a lesson and whatnot. It's like 2 seasons long. I've watched it like, I think, 3 times now. It's a pretty good show. And yeah. Okay, let's head over to the next question, which is, what is the last skill you have learned? I would say the last skill I have learned is, I haven't mastered the skill, but I'm trying to learn how to spin a pen. By spinning a pen, I don't mean just spinning it on random directions, but like actually learn how to do tricks with the pen, because I wanted to do this like a lot, because nowadays IRL school's a thing. I want to do something cool with my pen other than just spinning it in random directions, but I'm not good at it. I've spent like solid like 3 hours doing it the past like 4 days, so yeah, I'm still learning that skill. I mean, just like a little side skill. Yes, some people would be like, why the fuck are you learning it? There's no point. Just spin a pen normally. No one gives a fuck anyways. I mean, I'm not doing it for anybody. I just want to do it for myself because I think it would look cool. Okay, the next question is, where did you take your favorite vacation? My favorite vacation would be the one in Bali, which is, I think, in Indonesia. Yeah, I went with like my family and my cousin. It was super fun. We did like a bunch of activities. Like the whole place was really chill, personally. I mean, I think that was back in like 2017, 2018. It was super fun. Like we were like, we should do this like every year, but it didn't happen because like everyone has to be free for us to do it. And it's a solid like 20 people, I think. I don't know. Going on vacations with like groups of people, that, especially if you know most of them, like, or like, what do you call it? Yeah, you know most of them, it's fun. Like, if you go with the fucking random people that you found online, you probably, yes, you might connect with them in a deeper level when you're with them and having activities and stuff. But if you know a bunch of people and you're gonna go on a vacation, trust me, it would be probably very fun. Yeah, that was. And the next question is, what moment changed your life forever? I have explained this a bit ago, which is, I wouldn't say this is a moment, but I think it's a period of time, which is last year. Learned about self-development and whatnot, and I'm still learning. Fun fact, I've been learning study techniques for me to actually study and get good grades and try to ace all this stuff, because now IRL is super hard. Because we don't have chapters which are like not English. I need to manually write all of them. I'm slow at writing because I don't write. I'm learning respective timetable. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm learning how to use that. I'm learning how to use Anki properly and whatnot. Just finding ways that works. I've used it for about 2 exams. For one, I fucking smashed the exam. Like, I'm certain I only couldn't do like 1. I got like, I think 9 out of 10. And I didn't get the 1 mark for, I think, 1 question. I still haven't got the paper yet, but the sir told us the marks. So, yeah. I think Anki works pretty well. I plan to make Anki videos and whatnot. Because I think it could be an interesting topic that I could take a deep in. I'll talk more about this later on to the podcast because we have something which is related to that. But I would say the moment that changed my life was probably last year when I started learning about self-development and whatnot, and how to study for long periods of time, work for long periods of time, and whatnot. The next question we have is, what does your morning routine look like? I don't have a morning routine, but I'll give you a rough outline of what my mornings look like. I wake up, turn off my alarm, go back to sleep, wake up later, go to the washroom, wash my face and mouth, wash my face, brush my teeth, and then I'll go straight up to work if I've planned my day the day before, and just straight up go into work. It's either studies for Anki or making Anki questions or working on YouTube. And yeah, that's more my morning routine. That's if I don't have school. If I have school, I'll wake up from my alarm, actually wake up, and then brush my teeth, wash my face, and then go get ready and get in the car, get some breakfast from like a shop nearby, and go. The breakfast thing, the chances are I probably won't get it every single day because I don't eat. My school's for about 5 hours. I can fast for 5 hours. It's fine. I don't have to fast. I can drink water and stuff. Talking about fasting, Ramadan's coming soon, so. And I have my school opening Ramadan, which is just so cool. I'm gonna enjoy it so much. Like, oh my, so good. Like, I'm so stressed because I have so many things that I have to do for Ramadan and stuff. My school, my teachers. Like, it's all a hot mess. Because I normally sleep till like around like 10 or like 12 for Ramadan for the sake of it. I will sleep at about 5, right after Fajr. Like, I'll stay awake till 5. And then, because I don't like sleeping for like 3 hours, waking up, eating food, and then going to sleep because it makes my eyes hurt, and I miss it sometimes. So yeah. What's the one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you? That I make YouTube videos. Yeah, I remember one of my friends messaged me. This was kind of a long time ago. They're like, I didn't know you make YouTube videos. Like, this is the period when I started posting it on my stories to get some closure. Because it was movie reviews, which something that most people could be interested in. I mean, obviously some people watch movie reviews to see if I'm gonna watch the actual movie. But there's so many people who do spoiler reviews because they want to talk about the aspects they liked and whatnot. And I'm one of those people who will watch it. Even if I wouldn't be making movie reviews nowadays, I would probably be watching movie reviews. Because, I enjoy watching them. I enjoy listening to opinions which are different than mine and shouting at them. Not commenting and being an annoying bitch, but I'm pretty sure most people don't even know that I do podcasting. Even though I think it's kind of fun. I would say so. Yes, gathering the questions and topics that I need to talk about is kind of hard. What is the last thing you Googled? Okay, I'm gonna go on to Google. I'll take a screenshot just so you guys know I'm not bullshitting. Oh, okay, I've taken a screenshot, and believe it or not, the last thing that I have Googled is Netflix. Yeah, I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine before doing this. So haha, take that. Okay, next question is, would you rather have more time or money? More money, because I am alive, and if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. If I have more money, I could do more things. More things, yes, whatever. It's a pretty simple question. Next question, what do you hope the world will look like in 10 years? I hope that that failing is not as a disgraceful thing in our community or our society, I would say, and that everyone's accepted to the culture no matter what race, color, sexuality, whatever the hell they have. Because yes, people might say we already have that, but to be honest, it's not everywhere. Like in America, probably you have to do it, or else you're probably gonna get canceled or whatnot, or you're probably gonna get fucking a news report written on you. But countries like mine and so many other countries, like no one gives a fuck, about like if you're slightly different to what they are, they will go against your opinion. They will fight. They will talk to your mother. They will disown you. They will do whatever the fuck they can just because your opinion or your style doesn't match theirs. It's so bullshit, but it's just culture. I can't do much about it. I mean, yes, because like we continuously make it a normal thing in our society, because no one really can do anything about all the moms, all the fucking homophobic people in our community or society. So it's just disgraceful. I would say that's something that I hope the world could change to in a couple years. And in 10 years, hopefully World War III hasn't started or ended. Actually, no, hasn't started. Let's not say it hasn't ended. That would be a fucking bad thing to say. Let's hope it never started, and hope World War IV also never started in 10 years, so Yeah, but I reread the question, and you wrote what the world would look like. So I'm gonna assume you're meaning like buildings and stuff. I call skyscrapers basically every part of the world, and Wi-Fi is everywhere in the world, and it's free. I mean, I'm certain no one's gonna do that, but if they would, that would be very cool. Next question we have is, what motivates you to get up in the morning and go to work? This is quite simple. What motivates me? I don't get motivated. I mean, it's like motivation is just a thing that people think is that, okay, I need motivation to do work. I need motivation to get up of bed. You don't need motivation. You get out of bed because you have to. You're not gonna lie in bed the whole day. Yes, you can, but that's not something that you fucking think of when you wake up. So like many things, if I have to study, if I have to make Anki cards, if I have to record that video, I don't dwell on it. I just go, I have to do this instead of I need to do this. Yes, some people might say that you can just phrase it to I get to do this, so your brain gets tricked. But to be honest, I'm a fucking overthinker. None of that shit works, okay? So it's just full on straight up, I have to do it. I don't get to do it. I don't need to do it. I have to do it. If I have to do something, I'm gonna get it done. There's no question about it. Yes, there is question about it if I'm sick or I feel burnt out or whatnot, if I have a valid excuse, But if it's just me getting out of bed because I don't want to get out of bed, it's bullshit. If I want to make if I need to make that YouTube video, I'm gonna make that YouTube video because I have to. It's not that I need motivation to make that YouTube video, because I have to do it. I don't give myself an option if I want to do it or I need to do it, okay? I have to because I have to. Simple. There's no motivation needed. There's literally no motivation. It's I have to do it. So I need to do it, whatever. It's out of the picture. It just I have to do it. And I've said I have to do it probably like way too many times in the past minute, but oh well. Next question is, why are you interested in working as a filmmaker? Great question. I think I've already answered this as well, but maybe like last episode or whatnot. The reason I'm interested in filmmaking, because ever since I started making YouTube videos, and even when I started watching a bunch of movies, it's like I wanna make something that I myself would be proud of, and just see how far I've gotten from my first video to an actual film. Obviously an actual film is way further. I'm gonna take it slow. I'll talk more about this later on, because we have a topic which is pretty similar to what this filmmaking thing is. But the reason I'm interested is because I just want to make it, okay? I don't have, a really good story to tell you. Something like my father died and he told me to become a filmmaker. This is not a movie, it's real life, so, I want to, that's why. Next question is, do you prefer to work by yourself or with others? Now, this is a question that a lot of people probably are gonna go for my throat because I answered this. I like to work by myself. Why? Mostly because I don't like relying on people. Relying on people is probably one of the worst things you can do, because the thing is, at the end of the day, the only person you're gonna have is yourself. So if you can't work alone, you shouldn't be working with others. Like, I'm not saying you have to do everything alone, but you should learn to work alone before you start working with others. I don't know what kind of advice I'm giving. It's just that I like working alone because I don't have to rely on anybody. Because, like, some things like filmmaking, I need to work with people because I can't play 5 characters. Yes, I can, but it would be really confusing, and I would have to change fucking clothes every 5 seconds for one scene. And I'm sorry, I ain't doing that. So, hey, that's all. I do prefer working by myself, but I don't mind working with others either. Though I am kind of annoyed if someone's like 5 minutes late, because I'm an asshole. Okay, with that said, we have all of the viewer questions off our list. Let's get into a couple topics that I want to talk about. Okay, so basically I released 5 videos, and the one which had the least effort got the most views. And the video was a vlog video, but with an interesting side topic of me coming back to you. So because of that, my plan is to experiment with vlogging type of videos for a bit to see if I get more views doing that. Because I put my heart and soul and so much time into the reviews, and if no one's watching them, it makes me sad. And as I'm putting so much work into it, what's the point? You know, basically, if I'm already putting so much effort into the movie reviews and I'm not getting that many views, what if I put that much effort into the vlogs, which do get views? But I have to run an experiment and whatnot. See if the views just came because I left for a while and that video was gonna explain why I left. So yeah. Also, another reason for switching to vlogs is that my exams are coming, and making videos related to studying before the exams is probably a good idea, and making vlogs don't really take that much effort, but I'm gonna try my best to make them. The next thing I wanted to talk about is that I'm planning to make a documentary. Who is it on? Well, it's on a YouTuber. Basically, someone who really inspired me a lot and made me see the bigger picture of time. And that is the reason I'm gonna put my heart and soul onto this documentary, to make sure it's good. I didn't want to make my first documentary on someone who's really famous and already has like 20 documentaries done on him or her. That's why I chose someone who is fairly underrated and inspiring in my opinion. So yeah, that's just a bit of an update that I'm going to be working on during the upcoming months during Ramadan. But don't worry, I won't vanish off YouTube because I'm scripting a documentary. But yeah, also, while we're on the topic of documentaries, let's talk about the short films. And I just want to say, I haven't started filming. I have the script prepared, and I'm probably going to start filming in June. As firstly, I am very busy for the next months to work on short films, and secondly, I need to cast a good amount of people and rent out a little something for it. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit expensive, and I'm putting a lot of work into it. So I would be thankful if you guys watch it when it comes out, and you guys don't have to like tell me it's good. You guys don't have to tell me it's good. Just give me fair criticism so I can make the next one better. Though spending so much money on it's not that much money if you consider like all the big productions and stuff, but for me, a person who doesn't even make money off YouTube, it's pretty expensive. So also, we gotta talk about the Joker deleted scene. I personally think it was pretty good. I personally think it was a pretty good way to introduce the Joker. Not saying the teaser of the Joker at the end of the movie was bad, because it wasn't. It was pretty decent, and it made me excited for the next movie. And all the deleted scenes makes me even more excited for the upcoming movies. But there has been a decent amount of people saying that this version of the Joker was bad by judging one scene, which is like 4 minutes long, which I personally find ridiculous. I think most people would as well. I saw this video by Film Speak saying that this version was bad, and that every version of Joker after the Dark Knight Joker has been a competition on who can act the craziest and whatnot, which I don't really agree with, as we have gotten 3 live action Jokers ever since the iconic Heath Ledger Joker. We had Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix, and the new one, which I think is played by someone called Barry something. I can't pronounce his last name. And 2 out of the 3 Jokers were pretty cool. Yes, Jared Leto's Joker was the worst one, and I think most people could agree with that, cause that Joker was not Joker, but basically any villain with a fuckboy attitude. I'm talking in the perspective of watching the Suicide Squad, the first one, as I didn't watch the Snyder Cut, and I don't plan to watch it as it's too long, and I don't want to sit down and watch a 4-hour long movie. Most of the Jokers since Heath Ledger hasn't been who can act crazier, and judging a movie character from a 4-minute scene is quite retarded if you ask me. But that's all I have for today. I hope everybody enjoyed this little podcast episode. I do plan to make upcoming. I don't know if I'm gonna make any of them during Ramadan. I might. I'm not fully certain on it, but I might make it. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. And with all of that said, I'll see you guys in the next video / podcast episode. Peace out.